So in a move that can only be described as something that will literally make the media and leftist heads explode into orbit, the QAnon shaman is running for Congress. Jacob Chansley is going to run for Congress, and we'll get to that story in a second. Before we get there, we've got something sad to talk about very quickly, and so you're sort of getting two stories in one here, but Donald Trump's sister's dead. She has died at 86 years old, and I saw this just come across, and I said, well, I'm going to put it in this video. This is the Daily Caller. Former President Donald Trump's older sister, Maryanne Trump Berry, was found dead Monday morning, according to the New York Times. Berry, 86, body was found at her Upper East Side home Monday morning. Two people familiar with the matter told the Times it is unclear the cause of death. There she is right there. Berry was a federal judge in New Jersey and retired from her position in 2019. Boy, she worked a long time. That's showing you that in their family, you're mentally sharp till you're in your 80s. Looking at you, Biden. The former president and his sister were reportedly very close, but tensions arose when their niece, Mary L. Trump, promoted a memoir about the family and released audio showing Berry being critical of her brother. Trump's first wife, Ivana, passed away in 2022, while his younger brother, Robert, passed away in 2020. Trump held a funeral service for Robert at the White House. So I wanted to talk about that a brief second, bring it out, and before we get to this, my goodness, there he is right there. Of course, we've seen the Tucker Carlson video at this point where, I mean, basically, Capitol Police just gave this guy a tour, and he ended up having to go to jail. Utterly ridiculous. Utterly, it's still the craziest thing ever. Come on in. We'll show you around, and then we're going to try to prosecute you after the fact. Okay. That's such a farce. That whole thing is just insane. It is insane. So many good Americans put away in repugnant conditions. Some of them saying it. I mean, it seems like they can't even, talk to the outside world. Some of them. Just look around, look for things about that J6 situation and what has happened to those people, and it'll make you nauseated. It really will. It will make you nauseated and angry about people that just went up there to try to get somebody to hear their voice on J6. The man who has been called the QAnon Shaman, after walking through Congress on J6 2021 wearing a horned fur hat, has announced his plans to run for Congress. He will be making that bid in Arizona's 8th Congressional District. The 35-year-old filed a statement of intent on Thursday that he intends to run on the Libertarian Party ticket, per the Daily Mail. This comes after the Republican, who has held the seat since 2018, Debbie Lesko, said she will not be on the ballot in 2024. She's 64 years old, right there. Candidate statement of interest. You are hereby notified that I, the undersigned, hereby declare my interest to run as a candidate for the office of U.S. Representative in Congress, District Number 8, seeking the nomination of the Libertarian Party at the 2024 general election to be held Tuesday, November 5th, 2024. By submitting this document, I understand that any nomination petition signatures collected before the state of interest are invalid and may be subject to challenge. So I'm sure if you keep a lookout and want to somehow financially contribute to this, there will be a way to do so once all this becomes official, stamped, yada, yada, yada. Chansley served a prison term after a conviction for obstructing an official proceeding. He pleaded guilty to that charge and told the court, quote, "Men of honor admit when they're wrong, not just publicly, but to themselves. I was wrong for entering the Capitol. I have no excuse. No excuse whatsoever. The behavior was indefensible." A U.S. Navy veteran served 27 months of a 41-month sentence and was released early on good behavior. I mean, let's be honest. There's no telling what they were told to say. I mean, come on. At this point, the way that has gone down, my God. There's people on X right now that have a spouse locked up over it, the whole thing. He was released in March 2023 and sent to live in a halfway house at the time. His attorney, Albert S. Watkins, released a statement, quote, after serving 11 months in solitary prior to his sentence being imposed and only 16 months of his sentence thereafter, it is appropriate that this gentle and intelligent young man be permitted to move forward with the next stage of what undoubtedly will be a law-abiding and enriching life, Watkins said. I applaud his decision of the decision of the U.S. Bureau of Prison in this regard. While he was in the Capitol on J6, Chansley told others via megaphone, Donald Trump has asked everybody to go home. We made our point. Donald Trump has asked us to go home. Funny, I don't remember the mainstream media at all ever bringing up that little tidbit. And I'm sure as their heads begin to explode, and it's starting to trend now that this is happening, this is what Jacob's going to do, heads will begin to explode, and the coverage on this will start kicking up, and I doubt anybody will ever mention, because they act like that one little thing that was a massive thing never happened. Remember when Donald Trump came back to X, all of a sudden that video showed back up. Showed back up because when the people that formerly ran Twitter, the propagandist prop up of the Democratic Party had gotten rid of, suspended, banned Donald Trump off of there, all of a sudden that video was like, nothing to see here, you can't find it. I mean, a few people had it, but you get the point. And then it popped back up where, yeah, he went out there and told everybody to go home. You know, but the media, oh Lord, Liz Cheney, Mitt Romney, all of the kooks that decided they had to have a hearing over this thing and put it on TV and look at us. We're trying to get more campaign funds at some point. I don't know what Liz Cheney thought she was campaigning for, because her political career, unless she decides to run as a socialist, it's over. I mean, it's over. Mitt Romney looking at you too. Yeah. So, anyway, tell me what you think. Black and White Network supporters, yes, a Chicago video will happen. Whether it is today or tomorrow, I don't know. It might be today, it may be tomorrow, but don't worry, I haven't forgotten about Brandon Johnson. I assure you of that. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.